A brand new faith-filled film that reminds us that we all need someone to believe in us, called The Forge, is hitting theaters across the country on August 23rd. And joining me now are stars of the film, Priscilla and Aspen. How are you both doing?
We're good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for asking. So let's just start with something simple. Kind of tell me what's just the basic premise of The Forge.
Yeah, so the premise and the key themes are discipleship. You have mentorship, you have themes of forgiveness. But it's such a powerful story that you will laugh, you will cry, you will reflect, you will love your family a little bit more than you already love them. So it's so many inspirational themes, but true basic foundation principles that anyone can relate to.
Yeah, and I know that this was another Kendrick Brothers film, which is a pretty big deal. This is, one of several. So what was the experience like for the both of you getting to work on a Kendrick Brothers film?
Well, these men are my brothers. There's three of them, Stephen, Alex, and Shannon Kendrick. And working with them is spectacular on so many levels. But one of it is that they actually really believe what they're writing these films about. They care very deeply that the message of these films are lived out while the film is being made, which, when you're in the process of doing hard work, it's hard to be patient and kind and gracious when you're working 14 hours a day and everybody's sweaty because it's 100 degrees outside while these scenes are trying to be filmed. But this is what they do. They bathe the set literally in prayer every morning, cast and crew praying with one another so that the God can be glorified on the set. And then you see teamwork outworking as 100 people come together to make the film work. So it just feels really spectacular to be a part of a project where the people behind the scenes actually have integrity and believe what it is that they're writing.
Yeah, I can only imagine how much, that changes the experience too of just working on this film as an actor. So speaking of, you guys kind of play a mother-son duo within the film, Cynthia and Isaiah Wright. So tell me more about your characters and kind of their relationship within this film.
Yeah, Isaiah Wright, he's a recent high school graduate. He's 19 and he loves video games, he loves basketball, but he hasn't built that sense of foundation in terms of responsibility, and he really needs someone other than his mom, because his mom, she loves him, she prays for him, she provides for him, she nurtures him. But it's a thing where becoming into that space of, okay, now I have to become an adult. He's kind of hard-headed. So like when his mentor steps in, he definitely helps him understand why he should make the best decisions for his life and helps him walk it out and understand what it is to walk his life out with Christ.
That's really powerful. Priscilla, would you add anything to that about your character?
Well, yes, Cynthia, the mom of this 19-year-old young man, is really struggling, as parents do when their kids come into adulthood, with how hard do I push him? How hard do I challenge him? But I can't just let him flounder. So it's really hard when you're used to being hands-on with your kid when they're 6 or 7 or 10 years old, and then they're coming into adulthood now, and the way you parent them looks completely different and almost makes you feel a bit irrelevant because you can't be as hands-on as you were when they were younger. But I think that the movie's going to really encourage a lot of parents that maybe feel a bit expended and exhausted as they try to help their kid through this season, that your voice, your correction, your challenge, and your encouragement to your kid still has a whole lot of value.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to mean a lot to parents out there, Priscilla. Now, there's so many good messages that can be taken away from this film and kind of what it's doing. And one that stands out to me, Isaiah's character, kind of be in that position of being post-high school, maybe not college just yet, but kind of just unsure of what life's bringing and just being in that season of, kind of like unproductiveness, but contentness, but not really trying to do a whole lot. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. So what advice would you kind of share to people that are maybe in a similar position to your character?
The best advice I would give is to truly trust God with your life and the plans that He has for your life, because it's a thing where the desires that we have, there's so much that's in our control in terms of being responsible, being just proactive about whatever we want to do in our lives, but understanding that ultimately God is in control. So just having that family or that mentor to lead you and to guide you towards those endeavors is really important, but to also know that the foundation and the core and at the head of that, you have to have God to help you open those doors for sure.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And like I said at the beginning, we all need kind of a guiding spirit or a person to kind of help us along the way, right? So you guys have touched on so many amazing things already, but just my final question for you is kind of, in what way do you hope the audiences are impacted by this film and the messaging of it?
my hope is that they see themselves in it, and they can't help but to. At some point, they're either going to remember themselves at 19, 20, 21 years old, or they're at that stage now. They will be able to relate to what Isaiah is going through, what he's facing, the lack of momentum that he's feeling, the insecurity about what direction he should choose. We've all related to that at some point or another in our life, but they're also going to relate to Joshua Moore, who is the older, wiser gentleman whose life impacts young Isaiah. And to realize that at some point or another, no matter what industry we work in, no matter what our marketplace and sphere looks like, that we're not just there to do business. We're also there because our life is intersecting with the people that work for us or with us, or the people that we're doing business deals with, or that we're partnering with, the other mothers on the PTA. All of these people have been entrusted to us for higher level purposes than just the business that is at hand. And if all of us are aware of that, how can I encourage? What smile can I offer? Can I just be a listening ear? Man, the value it places when you just take a moment to listen to somebody who maybe feels like they haven't been heard in a long time.
Yeah.
That does so much to build up people around us.
Yeah.
And if we cared about more than just ourselves, then we would find that we get to impact each other in incredible ways.
Yeah, that's so beautifully said. Oh my gosh, I feel like I needed to hear that this morning. Well, Priscilla, Aspen, thank you both so much for taking the time to speak with me. The Forge in theaters August 23rd. Go check it out.